Yeah, so hello everyone, and today it's an amazing experience to share with you the journey of Dr. Vanshika, who has got an amazing rank 7 in this INI-CET November 2022. So welcome Vanshika, heartiest congratulations.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, so Vanshika, first of all, how are you feeling?
Ma'am, I'm feeling on top of the world. Even though the
Have
result
to.
came out yesterday, I've still not been able to accept it completely. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, matlab, I can truly understand when you get a amazing rank. And did you expected this rank?
Ma'am, I didn't expect a single digit rank.
Okay, perfect. So Vanshika, once you have got such an amazing rank, we would like you to share your journey. How did you started?
Ma'am, I started completing my primary notes in my third year itself. I completed most of my clinical subjects in that year only.
Hmm.
And some minors were left and half of medicine, which I completed in my fourth year. And from internship onwards, I started doing my first and second prof subjects. So the first 3 months, I completed first and second prof subjects, and I started revising the clinical subjects after that. So by almost the end of August, I finished my first reading for all the subjects, and then I planned for 3 revisions before the exam.
All right. So by August, you planned that your first reading is completed, if I'm
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
And then you did 3 more revisions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So because in along with internship, there is a hectic schedule. So
Yes, ma'am.
would you like you here to share how did you manage both?
Ma'am, I had village posting in the beginning, first 3 months, Feb, March, and April. So that used to be really hectic, like a proper 9 to 5 job. And we used to have 12-hour duties, 24-hour emergency all call duties. So
Mm.
those times I was not able to give much time to studies. I used to take out 4 to 5 hours every day for studying. After that, the postings were not so hectic. We had around emergency duties twice a week or so. The rest of the days we got free by the afternoon, so I could study in the evening.
Oh,
I did not miss my postings quite often. I like to attend the postings as well because what the residents taught there I thought was very relevant clinically, and it does help you crack a few questions in the real exam as well.
mhm.
So, ma'am, I think consistency is the key basically. I just made it a point to read a little bit every day. Even if I don't get time due to posting, I used to read at least for 2, 3 hours every day.
Okay. And ideally, what do you think that how many hours should be put in daily to have a effective preparation?
Ma'am, that is totally dependent on person to person. From August onwards, I got time. My postings were not that hectic, so I got time to study around 8 to 10 hours every day. But
Hmm.
before that, I was studying like 5, 6 hours a day.
Okay. So what do you think that how much portion of your studies, like if you are studying like 8 to 10 hours, how much time should be given to the MCQs and how much to the theory?
Ma'am, the time we give to the MCQs should increase as we approach the exam.
Mhm.
Initially, I used to study only theory. Like I did not solve many MCQs. Once I used to finish the subject, I did the questions, the previous year questions alongside. But from August onwards, I dedicated 2 to 3 hours in the night every day just to solve the previous year questions for all the subjects. And this time I kept on increasing. Then, in October, I used to give almost half day to questions and half day to theory, like that.
Okay. So how frequently you used to attempt the grand test? Do you think is it important to give grand test?
Ma'am, it's very important to take grand test. It gives you a real feel of the exam. And especially, we should not try to attempt it on the iPad or mobile. We should use the laptop and give all these tests. And you get a right assessment of your rank. And more important than the rank is that we know how to approach the questions. We develop that MCQ solving ability. And reviewing the paper is very important, not just the wrong questions. I feel even the right questions we need to review and correct our strategy of approaching those questions and make a list of all the mistakes, the questions which we get repeatedly wrong. So I used to attempt GTs from various platforms. I've around every 3 weeks I used to take one GT.
Okay. So how much time you used to give for reviewing the GT? Like one day if you have spared for giving the GT, so you used to review that GT on the same day or the next day?
Ma'am, I used to wait for the result, and then
Okay.
on the day of the result, I used to give the entire day to review the GT.
On the day of results. So that means you were devoting 2 good days, one for the giving the test and one for reviewing the test.
Ma'am, the test was only for 3 hours. So that day, just
Training
I
day
used
you
to.
used to study then?
Yes, ma'am.
After the test, we used to study. All right. Okay. So one more question, Vanshika, because this is a query of so many people who have to give the examination. That how many percent MCQs you feel are coming related to the PYQs or the PYQ topics? You have to choose from 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, or 40 to 15%. How many PYQs?
Ma'am, PYQs are really important this time because of the two shifts. There was a different paper. Like in the first shift, there were around out of 200 questions, around 50 plus questions were start repeat from the previous year's questions. Like we saw the recall questions. And in the second shift, not many, around 10, 15 questions were repeat. But
But
the
as
topics
far
are
as
always
I know,
repeated.
Vanshika, the topics of the questions were
Yes,
same.
ma'am,
Only the
topics.
slight language of the question was twisted from
Yes, ma'am.
paper one
Exact
to
question
paper two.
might not be repeated, but the topics which were important before will remain important always.
No,
So
no,
those
between
topics are very
paper one and
important.
paper two, I'm saying between paper one and paper two, morning shift and evening shift, the core questions were same now, only slight twist of the questions was there, or the questions were completely different. Like as far as OFTA was there were
Ma'am,
certain
for
questions. Yeah.
ma'am, for few questions, it was like that they might have changed the option or just little bit different about the same topic they asked.
Hmm.
But grossly, it was not like that. They did not plan it like that they give one question in shift one and just change the options for shift two. It wasn't planned like that because there was a 3 hours gap between the first and second shift. So not many questions were like that. There were few where the options were just slightly different.
Okay, so they were completely different questions in shift one and shift two. So, what percentage would you like to choose? What was your shift, morning or evening?
Evening.
Evening. So, according to your evening shift, what will you choose? Because according to the morning shift, people have chosen 40 to 50% even.
Yes,
That were
ma'am.
exactly the repeats from the PYQ topics. From the evening shift, what will you choose from 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40?
30 to 40% were from PYQs. Rest, we got a lot of questions out of syllabus as well in the second shift.
Okay, so still you will go for 30 to 40.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Which subjects do you think Vanshika will play a major role in the preparation of INI-CET?
Ma'am, I think first and second prof subjects are the most important, and they are the rank deciding subjects because if we study them, we'll surely get them right. In the clinical subjects, there is always a scope to learn more and know more. So, first and second prof subjects make around 60% of the paper, and only 40% comes from the clinical subjects. So, I focused most of my time on strengthening my first and second year subjects.
Okay, so which classes did you enjoy it most?
Ma'am, I like Tamim sir's classes a lot. He really motivates. I attended his test and discussion and I watched his LMRP videos as well. I've also watched Praveen sir's test and discussions, and he's concised path in those T&D videos very nicely, and they were my final source of revision as well. Like I made around 90 pages per path, and that was all that I revised before the exam.
Okay, and what about why?
Ma'am, I watched Vibe for few subjects like Ophtha, Anatomy. I did not get time since this is my first attempt. I could not watch for all the subjects, so I just watched for Ophtha and Anatomy, and it is very helpful. Some part of Derma also, I watched half of it.
Okay. If I ask about OFTA, according to you, how was OFTA? Because AIMS people give little typical kind of OFTA, as you know. So what do you think about OFTA this time?
Ma'am, I think Ophtha was pretty straightforward this time. If the class notes were sufficient.
Not so sufficient. Okay. So, because Vanshika, you prepared along with the internship and you have got such a amazing single digit rank, what will you say? What was the major challenge that you faced during the preparation, and what is the final lesson that you learned?
Ma'am, challenges, it's actually a very long journey. And there are times when we do feel hopeless in between, and sometimes when we don't get a good rank in the GT, we just feel like giving it up entirely. So I just feel that one should keep going. Just trust yourself, trust your teachers, and trust the process, and we'll surely make it one day or the other. That's it. We need to keep going. Just don't give up at any point of time. That's when your friends play a major role. Like, I would really like to thank all my seniors. They really encouraged me, motivated me throughout, and used to solve all my silly doubts as well. Even my friends, they have played a major role in supporting me throughout.
All right, so perfect one. So any final message that you would like to give, or you would like to thank anybody?
Ma'am, I would like to thank my parents, my all my teachers, my friends, seniors, and obviously the Almighty for the success. I owe it all to all these people. And ma'am, the message is just that consistency. I've always relied on consistency. I am not someone who puts in a lot of hours every day. I've never compromised on my sleep as well. I slept for 8 hours even in the last week, just before the exam. So, but consistency is the main factor. There was not even a single day when I did not touch my books. So I would just say consistency is the key. Trust everything and keep going. Don't stop.
All right. So thank you so much for such a important message. I think consistency is one thing that everybody knows, but few people can actually stick to it. And this is a very, very important message. And heartiest congratulations once again from the entire team of DBMCI. And we wish you all the very best for your future endeavors.